and welcome into our Karaka Million Form Special. What a night we've got to look forward to. And not even before that, we've got a really nice entree as well at Taranaki and Riccarton to look forward to. So that means in the studio, we welcome in Bevan Sweeney back and Aidan Rodley. Cannot wait. This is one of the best nights on the racing calendar, Bevan.
Yep, morning Pip, morning A-Rod, and everyone at home. Very seldom we have three meetings across the country on a Saturday and they all have black type. Clearly the focus will be Karaka Million evening. It is a weather watch around the country. We always sit a little bit relaxed around Ellerslie. Around the other tracks it's going to be a little bit interesting, especially New Plymouth with all the rain that has fallen there, but not an easy weekend, eh, Rod?
No, it's not an easy weekend, but it's one of the most fun weekends on the calendar. You know, Karaka Millions night is my favourite meeting. You just get along there. You know, it's a compact meeting with really good quality races, full of depth this year as well. And then you party afterwards, Pip.
Yeah, absolutely. You do. Rain or hail or shine. Let's hope it's shine as we take a look what's coming up on the agenda. And we will be starting with those two features, the 2-year-old and 3-year-old Karaka Millions, then having a look at the Aotearoa Classic and the Group 1 Railway. Can't forget too about the other features. We'll be taking a look at all 6 races, let's be honest, at the Karaka Million meeting. Then Taranaki, yes, the Taranaki Cup, we'll be taking a look at that, and the Oaks Prelude. Heading down south where the feature is the Timaru Stakes and our best bets and black bookers. So let's get into it. The feature meeting of the night will be at Ellerslie, and we did head out and catch up with Craig Baker to see just what the track will be playing like come Saturday.
Craig, a windy, blustery morning here in Auckland. Tell us about the weather that you've had this week.
Yeah, it's been pretty wet the last couple of days, Emily. We've had 6 mils in the last 24 hours, probably another 2 or 3 mils this morning. So they would have galloped, the horses that raced or galloped this morning would have galloped on a 5. So with the forecast, it's likely will be a 6 by Friday, and then hopefully up to a 5 on Saturday.
Tell us about that forecast over the next couple of days, because it is expected to rain.
Yeah, so we're getting more rain today. I don't know how much. It's very, very windy, so it tends to blow the rain away a little bit, but tomorrow looking like it might be 15 or so mils. So yeah, I think by Friday we'll be on a 6, but hopefully by Saturday we'll get that upgrade.
Yeah, I guess that's a crucial part of the next couple of days, is getting an upgrade for Saturday. What are we expecting over the next few days in terms of what we might see?
Yeah, like I said, it'll be pretty miserable. But the power of the Strathie track is that it drains so well, so it doesn't really matter how much rain we get leading up to the race meeting. It won't tend to get worse than a 6. So I expect we'll declare a 6 on Saturday morning, and then hopefully, looking at the forecast, there's only about 2 or 3 mil of rain, and if we get some sunny periods, we'll be up to a 5.
Obviously been a busy period here at Ellerslie with a number of race meetings. How's the track fared, and tell us about the maintenance work that you've had to do since then? Yeah,
it's going great, Emily. The track's, it's one of the best tracks in Australasia, there's no doubt. It's just a great draining track. It recovers really quickly. It's good for the horses. They stretch out well, they pull up well. So yeah, it's really flying. We've got a real strong maintenance program, which includes verti draining, which we've talked about for the last couple of years. So we would have finished the verti draining late last week, and that just sets us up well for Saturday.
Rail position back to the true for the big night?
Yes, absolutely, back to the true position. So yeah, it's all set for a great race meeting with 7 good Australian horses and 5 Australian jockeys, and that just works in well with our locals.
So similar conditions to last year's meeting by the sounds, but let's hope we don't get as heavy rain on the night, as we take you now to have a look at the TAB 2-year-old Karaka Million field for this year.
The favourite for this year's race is Kinnaird, and history is on his side. Tiako has dominated, taking out 8 of the last 9 editions, and they will be a force this year. Tiako's next runner, Out of the Blue, will have the Tangerine Army in full voice. He's drawn the extreme outside barrier in 16, but superstar jockey Craig Williams takes the reins to offset that wide alley. Butler Cabin is the first of the Benner runners. He has shown his class, running second in the Wakefield Stakes 2 starts ago. There could be a few midnight darts if the big syndicate get their moment. Latta knows what it takes. She won this race back in 2011 with Fort Lincoln. The consistent Caron for Alan Sharrock has been runner-up in both career starts, including a strong effort on Boxing Day. The Larry Zeidenboss team will saddle up McGill. He was a $230,000 purchase from the Milan Park draft and brings winning form into this. The first of the Aussie Raiders is Torture. For the Hayes team, they have had success travelling to New Zealand with He's a Shocker last year and will be looking to take more of our prize money back across the ditch. Armas burst on the scene with her win in the Counties Challenge Stakes and briefly went favourite. She has never been beaten in trials or on race day. From Queensland comes Dream Rocker from Liam Birchley's barn. She scored a smart last start win at Eagle Farm, and Barrier 1 gives her every chance to bring that form to Ellerslie. The Wexford team are looking for their first Karaka Million 2-year-old success, and they have dashing Dixie, who won on debut out of Tarapa. The Almanzor filly Strom Million from the Andrew Forsman stable was stylish when winning on debut at Ellerslie, and she returns to Ellerslie with valuable experience under her belt. Liam Birchley also lines up Van Zadie, giving him 2 strong chances to add to his already impressive record. He's won this race twice before, and he knows exactly how to set a horse for Karaka Million night. The final Tiako runner is Zaharis, a filly who has done little wrong. 3 starts, 3 placings, and still on the upward trend. And rounding out the field is She's No Saint for Michelle Bradley. She gets Logan Bates on, and from barrier 4, she maps to get every possible favour.
There is your field for 2026, and here's a look at the market. What do you make of the Sweens? Do you expect Kinnaird to come up the favourite based on the draws?
Look, I find it interesting. We talk about JMac tax. Well, there's also a Te Akau tax when we come to 2-year-old events, because Kinnaird was very good. There's no doubt about that last start at Ellerslie, but look, Butler Cabin was only a length off him. He's at $46, and there's a couple of other prices in here that interest me, but look, he was very good. I first saw him at Aotearoa. I thought he's a 3-year-old every day of the week, but he really improved into Ellerslie, gets the blinkers on, so it's understandable. Thought Torture was in the right spot. Armas is very, very talented. Dream Rocker gets the run, Aiden.
Yeah, and you talk about Kinnaird, and drawing barrier 2 is a real help for him. So he probably maps to trail. Dream Rocker, who does get forward, obviously the speed's there. Liam Birchley really happy with that draw, and they will be positive. McGill goes probably forward, but whether it's got the speed to just see this out. Dashing Dixie, and probably sits outside the leader. Armas is a tricky barrier draw for where it is. And the booking of Bruno Quiros makes Butler Cabin an interesting prospect. I know Bruno's a great gate rider, whether he wants to get into that race a little bit more. The wide draws for Caron and Out of the Blue really do dictate their tactics to go back.
Yeah, I really thought they'd have a crack with McGill from out wide, and if he crosses Dream Rocker, I'd be a little bit concerned if you were sitting in behind McGill, because I think he's very quick over 800, 1,000 metres, but whether he'll run at a strong 12 will be interesting. So they might just fight him early. Yeah. Might actually really put some speed into it, and you're right. What do they do with the Armas? Does have a bit of gate speed, and there's a few others that might have an opportunity to get forward, A-Rod, but yeah, Dream Rocker gets that sweet spot.
It really does, and we'll have a look at her shortly. But first up, let's take a look here at the Home Affairs Colt in Kinnaird, and unbeaten in 2 starts, including here in the Eclipse Stakes. And just looked a little bit green for a stride. Bevan not wanting to come up the inside, but he has extended well once he has gone up there.
Yeah, he has. Look, they only ran 112.6 on the day. I think Harvey Warbanger just needs a ride, and he probably still would have won the race. But look, he might be going the right way as a 2-year-old, because I saw him. He's quite a big animal. He's pretty athletic. I thought he'll make a lovely 3-year-old. He clearly went the right way out of Aotearoa, where they put their toe in the water and said, well, will he make it? And he's clearly taken that step up now. Blinkers go on. I'm not sure whether that's he's getting deeper into his preparation, or they just want to ensure, Aidan, that he gets away from the gate, because if he does, I think he can get the 1-1, and from there he'll be dangerous if he's continued on with it.
Just the manner of the performance. He was so good late, and when he really settled down to fight it out, he just polished them off and really just put them away. Blinkers going on with Opie, who knows how to win this race. He's won it on 5 occasions already. Tiako have won it 8 times. The one concern, maybe just that Eclipse Stakes record of the 18 Karaka Million winners, none of them have won the Eclipse Stakes, which just seems like a big anomaly. Maybe this is a year that's sorted out, but it is hanging over Kinnaird at the moment.
It really is. Well, let's hear from Sam Burgesson from Te Akau. They've got the 2 chances, Mark Walker, in the race here. And firstly, Aidan just asked how Kinnaird has progressed.
No, his work this morning was good. He's pretty laid back. He doesn't do a huge amount. He's a colt, and but he's in good form. He looks well.
Can you sort of compare him to past winners? Is he in that sort of vein?
They're all sort of been different horses, but probably a similar horse to Dynastic when he won.
Okay, yeah. Out of the Blue also heads that way, and Zaharias, how are they?
Yeah, Zaharias worked really well, like very strong work this morning. Out of the Blue's pretty laid back, only sort of has to do what he has to.
Yep. Of the three, what are your expectations leading into this one?
Well, without knowing the barrier draws, I think barriers are quite important, but we have won it from the outside barriers before. But you'd have to say, off their work and how they've raced, probably Kinnaird would be the one that's got the best form, and the other two certainly deserve their chance.
They do, and the prices reflect that as we get you to Out of the Blue and Butler Cabin. Here, obviously, the first defeat for Out of the Blue. What did you make of the performance in the Ellerslie Stakes?
I thought it was a good effort. I mean, this is just leader dominated, and Lassified just led up and kicked very, very strongly. And then like Butler Cabin and Out of the Blue, they both run just over 33 seconds, so you can't really run home much quicker than that. So I thought
a little bit tight.
Yeah, a little bit tight, but I don't think it was ever going to pick up those first two.
Yeah.
But I thought Butler Cabin hit the line nicely, and Out of the Blue kept on rolling. I mean, down the Trentham Chute, you can't really run much quicker than 33 and a little bit of change as a two-year-old. So in a leader-dominated race, I think, as Mark stated, they're both very much deserving in their spot in the field.
Barrier draw is a real trick, though, for Out of the Blue. It means they're probably going to go a long way back. There's a horse who won its first two races at Riccarton. Avantage did the same thing, won the first two races at Riccarton before coming up and taking out the Karaka Millions unbeaten. Shadow Row goes on, Craig Williams goes on, so a couple of, there's changes there that are saying that Out of the Blue could be a factor.
There's no real standout. I think previous years were coming with Tiakau, let's go back to Dynastic, let's go back to On the Bubbles. They were both on that real platform to be winning the race. They were really spruiked and they kept on improving. Don't think there's any horse in here that they're really very, very confident on. Kinnaird is going to make a lovely horse no matter what happens on Saturday.
So is this filly. Let's have a look at Armas, of course, by Drossen. She's unbeaten at the trials and on race day. I mean, we saw what Jono said about her after her win in the counties. And what about this trial here? It was very impressive, Aidan.
Trial's mega impressive. She's gone to the front, and then when the others have come up, then they've just sort of let her go. And she's done this every time she's been to an outing, whether it be trials or whether it be race day. She was terrific winning at Pukekohe that day, and she just seems to have gone on. Barrier draw was a little bit of a trick for me. Kelly Myers does the riding for John O'Bennett, who's won this race with Vespa. Kelly's run second, going back to, I think, Fantastic Light for Paul and Chris Shaler back in the day as well. So she gets an opportunity to avenge that defeat.
Look, beat Harvey Wallbanger quite convincingly on the day.
Yep.
What I like about this filly is that she can work across. She's got great first sort of section speed. But it was the last 200 metres of that race when you thought she looked under a little bit of pressure. She really did find again. She's shown that in a couple of her race day starts, as Jono's mentioned before. Look, never beaten this filly, so she's got the right sort of attitude. I think there's a trip to Augusta on the line here for Jono with Mr. Pinfold in the ownership group, and he wants to turn left into first class, not down to the back end of the plane. So I know he's really happy. He said to me a long time ago, this might be the best since Vespa.
Yeah, that's the thing. We just don't know her ceiling yet, do we? She might be really good, and she might well put this CRB Karaka Millions to bed. But yeah, for mine, this is it's acid test day for so many of these horses, and she's got that barrier draw to overcome.
Okay, if it was your filly, what you're doing from the 10, I think there's enough about her in her first 200 metres that if they roll the dice, they will find a slot somewhere forward, and from there she's really dangerous. Can she come from last and win? I would be very surprised.
I agree with you. You've got to go forward. You've got to be positive. Give her a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. If she wins, I'm looking forward to the interview afterwards. Right, let's get to the Wexford stable here with Dashing Dixie. Aidan caught up with both Lance and Scotty and just seen how she's going.
No, we're happy, Aidan, but I'd just like to point out this is the first duo interview, I believe, Andrew. We've seen on trackside two trainers together, so this is a first. But back to Dash and Dixie, look, the team's very happy. She worked well this morning. She's sound, and although it's only a second start, she's going to lack a bit of experience, but she's going well.
Much to add to that, Andrew?
Oh, not at all. She's flying. Her work this morning was top class. We didn't ask for a lot. We're just going in with fresh feet, and we think she's trialled around there before. She's got an experience, and barrier draws are going to be important. But we think we've got a filly that'll be well competitive, so it should be an exciting race.
Well, great to get both the gentlemen's thoughts there as we take
They're
a look.
pretty relaxed, aren't they, going into the race?
They are. As we take a look at her winning, obviously it was just a 4-horse race. They all stayed where they were in the running. So how do you assess it?
Laurel and Hardy, pretty much running partnership. Dixie and Dixie, well, I don't see them changing pattern to what they did here. She's only at start number 2, so to take her back in the field, I think would be pretty interesting. Thought she was willing this day. She ran really good time. Her draw, I thought there's a possibility McGill goes forward and Dixie can get outside McGill, and then it's up to some more senior horses to decide what they do. But you don't go without the O'Sullivan Scott team at the moment. Gee, they're flying, and when they sort of put that big red stamp next to one, they've been winning all season.
Yeah, and obviously there was an opinion of this horse going into that race. It was tactical. They did run 1, 2, 3, 4 as they were in running. So she does need to take the next step up, but she does have tactical speed, and she's in the right camp to take that next step. I think I'm going to play against her this weekend, but obviously real respect around the team behind her, and for that reason, maybe. Back ends.
Yeah, put her into the exotics maybe, as we take you now to the first Australian Raider, and it is from the Hayes stable in Torture, this filly by a sort of state, and she was very good obviously on debut, winning at Caulfield. What did you make of her fourth here?
I thought it was a super run. She was dictated. She came really wide around that bend, and then she's closed off superbly well. It's a he, isn't it? As well, have I got that right? No, she. It is a she. So sort of state. I thought terrific. And obviously the win prior to that was in a $250,000 race. It was a listed debutante stakes, and yeah, she was really good that day too. So I thought there was a performance of a horse who's well capable of winning this. I thought was right in the mix.
Yeah, a sort of state is flying, and like they'll be looking towards the sale with great enthusiasm. Cambridge State, love this horse. I think major player here. I've got 3 back, 1 off. That'll be a stalking spot going the other way around. I thought just looked a little bit unbalanced at times in that run inside the last 200 metres. I think she'll get on the right league here.
Well, that is the query, isn't it? Because it is first time right-handed, but they do run them right-handed at Euroa. Obviously, these horses have come over fairly early. I think they've been with Lance Noble at the Karaka base for the last 2 weeks. Well, they were definitely 2 weeks leading into the race, so they'll be well sort of exercised that way around. Yeah,
Damien Lane in the saddle, right spot. Just interesting to see where they put the speed into it. If Armas goes forward, maybe Midnight Dart, Zaharias might try and push the button. If they put good speed into it, I think Torture's very difficult to beat.
Yeah, and she's a half-sister to the Group 1 winner in Ruthless Dame too. And a man that knows how to win the race. Of course, their first Australian trainer to do it was Liam Birchley with sister Havana. He's got the 2 chances this year, and Emily did catch up with him to see just how they're tracking.
Dream Rocker, she's an Al Rocker out of a Redwood mare. I basically bought them both to try and have something that was strong enough to run at 2 and hopefully improve at 3 for the 3-year-old version. So breeding wise, that's what it suggests, but they're both ended up quite precocious, so I'm not complaining, but we'll see if they can stick on a bit later.
We've seen them working here at Ellerslie this morning. Tell us about the work that they did and the feedback.
Yeah, well, as you know, they just arrived on the plane at 3:30 this morning, so we weren't going to go out and break any records today. We just basically exercise was to give them a look around. They both went about 13 at the furlong for half a mile. I just said to Sam to let them enjoy it and have a look, and both sort of went around very professionally on their own for 2-year-olds, and had a good look, and job done.
You've had great success in this race previously. How do these horses compare to perhaps your previous winners?
I think they're comparable for sure. Definitely they're probably better than Sister Havana. Reluctant to say they're better than Hardline at this point, but they definitely would be competitive, I think.
Let's take a look at Dream Rocker winning at Eagle Farm. She was so professional this day. She again came up the inside here, Bevan, and looks a key chance from the draw. Yeah,
she is a key chance. The map will either be brilliant for her. Whether she holds the lead would be a question mark. If the trail sometimes at Ellerslie, I know we all say trail's perfect, but it can be a death seat as well on many occasions. So You just want to be careful. Great rider aboard, so look, probably your concerns diminishing around that, but enough speed, can sit there, gets the gate, go forward type of a filly, and she's got good enough form to be winning in Liam's. Pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been here on many occasions, so he knows the right formula. I think she was probably the more impressive of the two, and I think Barrier 1 definitely gives her a chance.
Okay, well now it is time to put your head on the chopping block pretty much and try and find us the winner for the 2-year-old. Who is it going to be for you, Bevan?
Don't say things like that, because it probably is. Look, probably City Boss. I've loved what Armas has done throughout its preparation. I think she's shown good sectional speed in every part of her race. I think she runs the 12 really, really strongly. If, and it is quite an if, she can get across and get some cover, we'll go and sit outside the lead. There was one to beat them all, Stromlinian for Andrew Forsman. I was super impressed by this filly by El Mensor at Ellerslie. That is the upsetter in the race to me at $20.
I agree. It's in my numbers for sure. Stromlinian's right in the mix. And one thing about, we spoke about that Eclipse Stakes never having a winner. That January 12 or whatever, the midweek, 2 weeks out, 7 winners have come through that race, including 4 winners of both races. So Stromlinian could do the double. Zaharias also comes out of that race. And I was really taken by that performance. So that goes into the mix. And then for me, it's CD against the North against Victoria. And I'm going to go Kinnaird. I just love the way that he just polished off that Eclipse Stakes. I know he's got the Eclipse against him, but he's got the Te Akau team, the Opie Boston factor, the blinkers going on, and a beautiful barrier of 2. So everything points to Kinnaird being very competitive in this 2-year-old race.
Okay, so that's what we're liking in the 2-year-old. Now let's have a look at the 3-year-old Millions field.
The 2,000 guineas winner Romanoff heads the field for the 3-year-olds. The Bellardo gelding is the first of 3 chances for Pam Gerard. Completing the 2,000 guineas quinella for the Gerard stable is Affirmative Action. A model of consistency, he hasn't missed the placings in 5 starts this campaign and looks set to run another honest race. Te Akau are chasing back-to-back wins in the race after claiming it last year with Damas Rose. Their representative, He Her Dares, comes in off a bold second placing behind Well Written last start. After having James McDonald guide him previously, Argo now picks up the services of Damien Lane. He'll need a touch of luck from Barrier 12, but the talent is certainly there. Sweet Ice is long in the market, but he's put together back-to-back placings at Ellerslie from Group 1 winning trainer David Green, and he shouldn't be underestimated. The third Pam Gerard runner is Now Not Never, who delivered for punters at Taupo last start. He'll be looking to take another big step forward and possibly cause an upset here. The outsider of the field is Fat Cat for Andrew Forsman. With 1 win from 8 placings, will need to improve sharply to figure in the finish. The spotlight will once again fall on superstar filly Well Written. She's been nothing short of dominant, unbeaten in 4, including her brilliant Group 1 1,000 guineas victory at Riccarton. The story is set to continue. Last year's 2-year-old winner La Dorada looks to join Probabile as a horse to do the Karaka Million double for Te Akau. She signalled she was back in top form with a strong win in the Levin Classic. Lollapalooza for the Richardson Norvell team and Social Racing will look to turn the tables on Well Written after running second to her in the 1,000 guineas. Peter and Trent Didham trek up from the Central Districts with War Princess. She has won 5 from 9, including the Eulogy Stakes, 2 starts back. Representing the South Island will be the Andrew Carston-trained Miss Ziggy. Kylie Williams will take the ride, having won twice on her before and was placed 12 months ago in the 2-year-old Karaka Million. Chilling Out has won her last 2 starts, including an impressive win at Ellerslie last start. And rounding out the field is Fleeting Star, with Queensland's premier rider Angela Jones back in NZ, and fresh off success the last time she visited Ellerslie.
What a sensational field as we get you to the market. Well written. No surprise, Bevan, to see her, the favourite, at $1.50. And then Dorada, of course, the 2-year-old winner last year, looking to take out both.
I don't think there's any surprises in this market at all. Pip, well written, was always going to be odds on, and after the draw, probably shortens further. Dorada was great last time at Trentham after a disappointment. He Who Dares was very good behind well written. Maybe there is some meat on the bone with He Who Dares, who was at $15.
Wasn't much in between them last time out, is there? So if you do think that Well Written can get beaten, you probably are going to get a price. But she draws so well in barrier 3. I think she can get a spot in the first half dozen here. I think the speed's probably from the likes of these horses out wide. Fleeting Star, Argo. Maybe they press forward with Fat Cat. Certainly that was the indication at the barrier draws. And the indication of the barrier draws from Pam Gerard was that Affirmative Action's likely to get back from 10. But if they go back from 10, I really do wonder whether they're going to get risking sort of 3 and 4 wide. So for mine, I think their best option of winning is actually pressing forward here. Then you've got those horses, War Princess, who probably settles close in behind the speed unless they really want to lead, and He Who Dares, who gets fairly close as well. So it's a tricky one. What do they do with Affirmative Action here, Bevan?
Hey, Pam Gerard's the best tipster on the form, so we'll just leave her alone. She's going back and she's hitting the line very, very strongly. So look, I don't disagree with anything you've really said there. I thought the one thing that might change up is War Princess, who they tried to ride back last time at Trentham, didn't work. She's got enough zip to hold a spot there, and she's better than 41s or 45s she's at the moment, if she jumps and runs.
Yeah, and that's the big question mark. All right, our favourite is Well Written, and Emily did catch up with Stephen Marsh and just see what work she did.
Yeah, she worked over 1,200 in company. She just started off nice and easy, sort of just a 3/4 touch better, and we let her come home nicely the last 600. She was full of running, went to the line good. I was very, very happy they worked today.
What was the feedback from Matt Cartwright?
He got off. I could see when he came back, he was a row of teeth. He was very happy. Look, he's done a lot of her work at home. She's just getting very relaxed and just going through the motions a little bit at home. That's why we decided to bring her today, give her a good final hit out. She won't do much for the rest of the week, and yeah, he was very, very happy there.
Obviously 4 weeks between runs. We haven't seen her since Boxing Day. How easy has it been to get the work into her and keep her where you need to be for the mile?
Yeah, it was more so. It was harder. You know, she had a little a short break after the 1,000 guineas. I think going into her last race, that's when she was sort of at her most vulnerable stage. That run under her belt, the gallop here today, once she sort of gets fit, she holds her fitness well. So I'm very relaxed and happy they're going into the Saturday.
Obviously, we've got a bit of rain around the Auckland region predicted for the next few days in the build-up to Saturday. How could that affect her chances?
Yeah, look, she doesn't like it wet at all. The only time she's been beaten in a trial I think it was a slow 8, and she looked a little bit average that day. So it's meant to rain a lot today and tomorrow. Hopefully Thursday, Friday, Saturday's good, but the firmer the better for her. And yeah, that would be my concern, would be rain on the day.
And could that be the chink in the armour that her contenders are hoping maybe pulls her up as we take a look at her making it 4 straight here in the Group 2 Guineas? And this was, again, such a performance from her. She comes together there with Affirmative Action, and once she's passed, she's just so good.
I don't think there's any chinks in the armour really, Pip, to be frankly honest with you. I thought that week was outstanding. I'm not sure what the horse on the inside was. However, she had that well covered. Yeah, so look, she was a little bit green here. She felt pressure late, but she had to do all the chasing and she got there. I think she'll be better on Saturday. She's got the draw. Jockey knows her well. There's just too many ticks and too many boxes for me to be brave enough to say she won't win.
Yeah, I agree. So she's done everything, and she seems to be getting better, and you can see the confidence that Stephen Marsh is exuding. He just loves her. He knows her ability, and she's unbelievably high class. Boy, she got pushed in that though. He Who Dares did give her a fright. You know, he's only gone down a short neck, and obviously Affirmative Action's a decent horse in there as well. So this is you take Well Written out of this, and this is probably still one of the best Karaka Millions 3-year-old. With her in it, it just raises the bar, and she is undoubtedly the horse to beat. But she will have a very big target on her back this weekend.
Ooh, yes, she will. And of course, second favourite in the race is Dorada, and Tiako has the 2 chances in. Aidan caught up with Mark Walker and just asked how good it was to see her back at her best last start.
Yeah, really good, because it didn't go right in the spring in Melbourne, and we pulled up stumps pretty quick, and she came back, and her run at Wellington was really good. Good rider, Grillsies, of course, and reunited with Craig Williams. Yeah, so she's trying to do the unique double that Probably did, but it's hard to do.
It is hard to do. Is she in the right form to do it though, mate?
She's come on, if anything, she's improved out of Wellington. She was still a little bit improvement there, and she's tightened up a bit more. She looks well.
He Who Dares really fought hard last time out. You must have been thrilled with the run. How's the progress been since?
Yeah, he just did a bit wrong. He just sort of drifted out the last part of the race, and it probably cost him winning. But no, he's in good form, and Opie rides him, so he'll get his chance.
And he really will, won't he? As we take you now to these two runners, we've got Dorada obviously coming up the inside. Romanov comes out of the race too, and it was great to see her back to her best because she'd just been that little bit flat prior.
Yeah, I think they were all scratching their head fresh up back in New Zealand. Everyone expected her to win, and she was very fair on the day. But for me, and having seen her at the beginning of her career, she hasn't changed a lot. She's not a big, enormous horse, but this is a great rider. She showed a great turn of foot. She been home a really nice horse in Swiss Prince, who I think is going to go to some very high grade. But she's a bit hit and miss, isn't she? That's what I would say about her. However, I can't ignore that performance. She was very, very good. She's the major danger if she runs up to her very best. I think you saw War Princess there back. Argo had that much money on it. I think it got a fright itself at Trentham, just out of the blue with the J-Mac tax. It was unbelievable. But again, ran a really nice race for the team there. Of all of them, I think it is Dorada, but I just expect War Princess to run a lot better from a decent gate.
Yeah, those horses who were handy there definitely had an advantage. So, yeah, she was the one who was closing off. She did save ground along the inside, but she was very good. And maybe do you have to be a little bit forgiving because of that on Romanov and War Princess? I think she's got Argo covered in this race. And obviously she's looking for that double. She was so good at this meeting last year, and her vest is very, very good.
Just quickly on He Who Dares, do you give him a chance to, obviously, with that run that he was really good behind
I'm
Well
surprised
Written.
that he's not second favourite in this race. He was the horse, I thought maybe he's even got an edge on Dorada here on what he's done. His run in the 2,000 guineas was fine. It wasn't behind Romanov, of course, but then it was, of course, rain-affected track conditions as well, so you just don't know. But he's going really well, and, yeah, he's top four for mine. I've actually got him in for second.
If something was to go wrong at the hop with Well Written, that she doesn't jump away and she ends up further back than we expect in this particular field, I think he's the one to beat, because I think he lands outside maybe a Sweet Ice or War Princess, and he's almost forgotten every time he's gone to the races, this horse, and he's pushed our very, very best. He's got Opie aboard in a good gate.
The only thing about that as well is you know she's going to take so much improvement out of that run. She did a few things wrong, and you know, and maybe he does too, but you know, she looks as though she's got a lot of improvement in her.
Yeah, she really does. What about these two? Obviously, we saw Affirmative Action and Romanov both in those replays, and Aidan caught up with the Pam and just firstly asked about how Affirmative Action's going.
Yeah, happy with them. Went up for a gallop at Ellerslie the other day. Was super. I don't know. We've got him where we want to have him, so just got to hope that everything goes good during the week and doesn't do anything stupid. But yeah, he's exactly where we want him.
Group 1 winner Romanov heads in that direction as well. How's he going?
Yeah, he is also very good. He went up to Ellerslie, just had a wee look round. He went round on his own, so big steps for him because he can be a little bit wayward. But happy with him. We've kept him very much on the fresh side, and he certainly is. And hoping that freshness will just give him that speed he needs for the 1600.
And last up winner, Now Not Never, heading in that direction probably as well. How's this horse going?
Yeah, actually we scratched with a sore foot from Pukekohe the other day, and then we sort of thought where we're going to go, and it just sort of popped up that he will make the field, and you know, he may be just half a step below those other good horses, but I'm not saying that he's not completely out of it, and it just sort of fits him well with the program heading forward to the Derby. It gives him a look around Ellerslie, and he's by no means out of it.
What's the preparation been like? How happy you've been with them leading in training wise?
Yeah, obviously Romanov and Affirmative Action, it sort of seems a long time since Riccarton, and you're sort of ticking over and doing everything that you can, but I have not really had any problems with them. They're eating well, they seem bright and very happy, and it's all sort of going to plan, fingers crossed.
Well, the team's going well, and she's got a three-pronged attack. A stable with two, and of course is the Richardson Norvell team, and Aidan just caught up with Graham and just ask how they're going.
Well, I took them both to
Te Rapa the other day on Friday, and they both worked up really well. So I'm happy with both, but hard to sort of say which one's going to go better than the other. It's always the draw that helps. So, but they're both very healthy and well.
Fleeting Star terrific up there in the 8 Carat Classic. Has she done everything you wanted of her leading in?
She's definitely improved. Really happy with the way she's gone. In fact, both of them. So, yeah, just may the best horse win.
Yeah. One thing about Lollapalooza, she's been there in top company all preparation, and she's fared really well too, hasn't she?
Oh, she's a very good horse, yeah, and she's done very well. But she's still learning a trade, believe it or not. She's just, last time when she ran second, she was off the bit, on the bit, off the bit, on the bit. So we've got visor blinkers on. She's had blinkers on since the 1,000 Guineas, but I just feel with the visor blinkers, she might be able to see the horses around her a little bit more and be able to chase them rather than switching on and off all the time.
Yeah. Those two very high-class fillies, but it's a high-class 3-year-old race. What can you expect of them?
Well, I mean, we're there to win, so, you know, and we're good, very good winning chances, both of them, I believe, you know. Fleeting Stars has improved a heap with the blinkers on, and as we said, Lollapalooza is a good horse.
They certainly are, and this is them both running a second and third here in the 8 Carat Classic, and maybe the visor blinkers for Lollapalooza will just do that and sharpen her up a bit.
Possibly, but she's just got that pattern where she needs a little bit of luck and she needs really strong tempo. You never want to underrate this filly because she is very, very smart, as she showed us way back when at Ellerslie, an amazing run, and she's never let the team down. She gets the right run, a little bit of luck and good strong tempo. She'll be flashing at them.
Yeah, this was a race that did favour those on speed. Talent was good from the front, and obviously Fleeting Star, who settled handy, kicked on well. Maybe Fleeting Star was the pick of the exhibition gallop, but like you say, Bevan, Lollapalooza is a horse who gets back, hits the line. We saw that there'll be more speed in this race than what there was in the 8 Carat for sure. And like she's got to be a factor in the race, Lollapalooza. She's been very good and some good company the whole way through.
Just on affirmative action, of the class of 26, he's the classroom stud, isn't he? He's the one that walks in and you go, man, he's an animal. He's just so big and powerful. He's going to keep going on the right sort of upward curve as he gets deeper into this season and into next season. He's going to be one hell of a horse. Whether he can win from going back, I'll just stick with Pam.
The other one horse I just want to mention before you get on to selections is Chilling Out. She just seems to be a really exciting, progressive filly who's just doing everything right. And who knows what her level is just yet. She could well prove herself competitive in this race.
Yeah, she really could. Well, that does complete our look at them. Are either of you game enough to go against Well Written, or are you just going to tell us what to play behind her?
Not me. I'm sticking with her. I think she's a yardstick in the race. She's terrific. She's unbeaten in forehand. Who knows? She could be the superstar of New Zealand racing. She's certainly on the way to establishing herself as that, and she'll take another step if she can knock this one off on Saturday too. Swings, how about you?
A lot of people that surround me in my life would say that I've done a lot of very stupid things in my time, but this is not going to be one. I'm sticking with you, Marshy, and saying Well Written runs a really strong race and just on. And I think for everyone at home, we want her to win. You want to keep the unbeaten filly Star going, so let's hope she wins. But it's not an easy race to be taking out. I'm going to be, maybe City Boss or Princess top 4.
Okay, I like that. We'll do that same race multi. That completes our look at the Millions. Stephen Marsh will be heading to Ellerslie with a little bit of confidence, and as we take you to a break, he's also risen to the top of the training ranks.
I think once it's in your blood, good luck getting it out.
The Stephen Marsh team are absolutely flying.
A bit overwhelmed, to be honest. The last half an hour's probably been the best half an hour in racing you could ask for.
The Marsh stable has been on fire this season, have they not?
What a day for Stephen Marsh.
A sensational day for Marsh Racing as they take out another.
Really nice win, and geez, it just shows how well the Stephen Marsh stable is going.
Stephen Marsh on fire.
Stephen Marsh, stop it.
Stephen's got the capability to do whatever he wants, and he'll have his own set of goals, I'm sure, and I'm not going to make those up for him, but he can achieve whatever he wants in this sport, and he's well on the way to doing so.
I think we're seeing him, reach a period now where he's going to be right at the very, very top of New Zealand trainers for a long, long time.
And you've got to beat Tiaki, and they got numbers, but he's right there breathing down their neck.
Like every win he has is like a win to me. I'd just love to see him #1 leading trainer of New Zealand.
we're not exactly where we want to be yet. We still want to build it bigger and stronger, and that's what we plan on doing.
Jesus, the winning post's a long way up the straight, Logan. We've only got about 16 horses in work, and he's obviously the star of the team. It's been a bit of a fairy tale. Sometimes I kind of go, I can't believe it, but I'm enjoying the ride. What do you think?
Yeah, he's good.
Does he like the ground, they want to know?
He does. He does. I actually wouldn't mind a soft track. It felt amazing there.
It's going to be this.
Yeah, that's
exactly this.
That's what you want. He had a blow pulling up, but his recovery was very quick. Like by the time I got to you, he's back. So fitness is not an issue.
What do you think of the track?
It's a beautiful surface. I don't mind. It's big. Just it does corner for quite a while, and then it's sort of that sharp kink right to the straight.
Honestly, I know I've had him for a long time, but I've just never, ever seen him look this good, have you?
Nah, not this good.
It's Jigsaw adding to the Group 1 railway puzzle there. Fantastic to have the meteorite winner over, and he is looking for 4 straight. We'll get to him very shortly, but we'll take a look at the full field here. And Alabama Lass is the favourite, 4s into 3.10. Arkansas Kid, another Australian Raider at 4.40. And there is Jigsaw. What do you make of this market, Bevan?
Gee, what a cool horse, just watching that video. He is one you'd fall in love with pretty quickly. Alabama Lass always comes with short prices around her. She is a bit flighty and she's got a few chinks in the armour, but if she put it all together, she'd be hard to beat. Arkansas Kid, about the right price. I think the 2 Australians can beat us. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Crescetti was okay at Trentham. I think the price that sort of interested me the most, Espionage. I really do like that horse, and Swain Eastay's got a good horse's record.
Yeah, this has changed around a little bit. I thought when I looked last night that Arkansas Kid was actually favourite, but maybe I've got that wrong. Interesting stat that we heard from Stephen Hunt on crunching the numbers last night was that Jigsaw in 16 starts leading has won on 10 occasions, so they'll be finding the front for sure. Alabama Lass is a go-forward horse who does get to the speed, and I think they'll be more positive on Crocetti as well. So the speed is out in this half of the map, so they do have to get across. I don't know where that means. Maybe Tardelli back on the fence. Wednesday's got a decent barrier draw here as well. Then you've got horses such as Reward Smile, Ardalia, who are just going to have to get back. But I don't think it's any surprise to think that Jigsaw will be our leader here.
Will they allow Jigsaw to get across when you've got Alabama Lass? I thought Crescetti might kick up as well. I think Crescetti can probably then take a sit behind Jigsaw. I thought Espionage, great run. Swaney's Day gets a very nice run in Transit, and probably the one that's getting affected the most out of the draw and the way the track is going to play is Platinum Attack, because when you analyse his run at Trentham was actually really, really good.
Yeah, it really was. Gosh, it's a good field. So we take you back to last year's running, and of course Crocetti did narrowly beat Alabama Lass, and there was so much rain that come on the night, and it really didn't suit Alabama Lass, but she was so game still to run how close she did. And Crocetti, look, probably arguably not in this form.
I don't think he's far away. Actually, his run at Trentham was pretty good as well. I mean, the ride on first 5 probably won the race, because you go through the sectionals and they're all, again, running home in sort of times that you can't really go much quicker than. Look, the cut out of the track helps him, doesn't it? Alabama Lass, it's probably against her a fraction. Platinum Attack's great up the inside again. Look, I was very keen on him at Trentham, and he sort of stumbled out of the gates, and that probably cost him being closer. But he's not too far away, Crescetti. Not too far away.
I think one of the key things is getting back to Ellerslie, where he's so good there. He's had 4 starts for 2 wins, 2 minor placings, and he's won 9 of 16, so he just is an out-and-out winner. Yeah, you've got to be forgiving of Alabama Lass in that last year when the rain came. Although Crescetti's not, he's won a couple just because he's classier than them on a heavy track, but he was very good in winning last year's railway. At his best, he'll take some beating, but boy, I'm thinking Alabama Lass is just coming into this in a sweet spot. She's done no work in an exhibition gallop on a really heavy track, come along with a terrific trial at Ellerslie, and she's got top-level class. I think she's a key player in this race.
OK, well, let's hear from the man that knows her best in Ken Kauso and see how she's going.
Yeah, no, she's very good, Aidan. She's had that exhibition gallop at Tiara, and then she had the trial at Ellerslie. You know, she's come up really well.
It looks from the outside like this is a race that you're really playing from the outset.
Yeah, well, you know, the way she was in the rating, there wasn't many options. So, you know, with the Telegraph now being before the railway, so it was the obvious target to target her for the railway.
Yeah. How's she gone in training leading into this?
Yeah, no, very good. She worked good this morning on the course proper. No, very happy with her.
It looks like it's going to be a railway of real quality, Ken. What's your expectations of her?
Oh, she always gives her best. I mean, it's a good field. Draws are going to be important, I would say, but, you know, as long as the rain stays away. The race is so late like it was last year. I hope the rain doesn't come, but no, she's it's going to be a good field, but with her form, you know, in Australia and what she's done here, I think she's hopefully very competitive.
We just need that rain to go away in the Alabama Lass camp, and this was her on a beautiful Sunday at Ellerslie. I thought she was really good here. So was Sterling Express though as well in the trial.
Yeah, Sterling Express was terrific in his trial, and obviously he's a Group 2 winner of a Foxbridge. Any rain around will be okay. He's won 2 of 4 at Ellerslie, 8 of 21 all told. But Alabama Lass, she's only a head away from being a Group 1 winner in Australia when she's gone down to Barraquil in the Moir Stakes. So she's high class, and yeah, this has been her spot. You know, her win in the King's Play here at Ellerslie was sublime. I think she's a yardstick in the race, although it'll just be interesting to see where the two Aussies measure up.
Look, I think Sterling Express, on the evidence of that particular trial, is overs in the market at around about 15, might have even drifted further than that. That was as good as Alabama Lass.
The other thing about him is he's unbeaten in 3 starts at 1,200 metres, so
yeah,
it's a sweet spot for him.
Yeah, look, you wouldn't be against playing him in the top 4 Alabama Lass. Everything Aidan has said tells you the story about Alabama Lass. Just there has been times in her that she's over-raced and hung and done some really strange things. So if she's 100% right, and Ken is one of the great trainers, she'll be very, very tough to beat.
Yeah, and you might want to pick up an addition of the race form as well, because she does grace the cover. She could pick up the win, and you might just want to put that somewhere in your trophy room. If she does, you can back her, and she pays a nice price. So that's who's on the race cover. Good luck to the team with her. What about this runner, though? Sway Wednesday as well has really always looked like a horse that would be competitive, and Aidan did catch up with Roger James just to see how he's going.
Look, he's had a really good build-up. He's just worked a few minutes ago. He's ready now. We're probably going to put blinkers on him. He can be a little bit wayward, but the great thing is he loves Ellerslie.
Yeah, but this looks like one of the strongest railways in recent years. How competitive can he be for you?
Look, I think set weights and penalties will really suit him. And he's done nothing wrong. He deserves his opportunity.
And he's beaten home a really nice field. We know that he won Relish's Ellerslie, so that's a big plus for him too. How did you assess this one?
I'm really keen on him. I have to say I'm very, very keen on the 5-year-old now. He's been so patiently handled. They've spoken in high regard around this horse. He's got a good horse's record, winning 5 of 8. This is a very dominant one. He didn't have a lot of luck in the rain. You think, well, he's going to have to sit down. Well, he didn't. The blinkers go on. He's always had a little bit of headgear on him. At this point, you think he can't win, but I love the way he gripped the turf. He changed onto that right leg. He's still got a little bit of greenness about him, hasn't he? He's sort of got the head to one side, but he gets the job done, this horse, and I think he gets a perfect run in transit Swaney's Day, and I think he's very dangerous at the price.
Yeah, I think so too. He's yet to run worse than second in 8 starts. This is an acid test for him, and boy, that was a run from Espionage in that race from a long way back, came to the outside, looked as though it was just going to be plodding, and then picked up. Now, the difference here is that was like a length and a quarter between the two of them. Espionage comes in 4 kilograms better this time round than Wednesday. So, like, for mine, if you're putting them head to head, I've got to be with Espionage. As much as I love Wednesday, I've just got to be with Espionage if I'm going head to head there.
Okay, now let's have a look at the 2 Australian raiders, and they both come out of the Meteorite last start. Obviously, Jigsaw winning it, Arkansas Kid in behind. There he is, out in front, freewheeling, and as you said, Bevan, boy, he's a beauty.
He is a lovely horse, isn't he? He'll really capture your eye on Saturday. Look, he has to get to the front from what I can understand, and I watched Stephen with his synopsis of his career. They're dominant in this race, aren't they, from those forward positions? So if they can get there, and I actually had Arkansas Kid possibly sitting directly in behind Crescetti if everything goes right. So they can both definitely win the race. I don't think there's any doubt about that. They had great interest as well.
Yeah, they sure do. And at first I'd looked at them thinking, they're bringing second-rate form, but they're really not. Jigsaw's won a Group 2 McEwen Stakes a couple of starts back at Moonee Valley, did it all the way that day. And Arkansas Kid, two-time Group 2 Bobby Lewis winner, he's run fourth in a Coolmore down the straight at Flemington in Group 1 level, and third in a Group 1 Blue Diamond. So it's good form. On that race, though, Jigsaw comes in a kilogram better, and he did seem to be holding Arkansas Kid. So for mine, I'm just going to swing that way with Jigsaw slightly ahead of Arkansas Kid. But I agree with Bevan. They had great interest in this race.
I reckon Logan's got a bit to do with this as well, saying, Cindy, you bring this horse to Australia, well, into New Zealand, and he's a massive winning chance to take out the Group 1.
Mum will be there too, because she's riding Miss Ziggy on the day. So
how good. I'm worried.
It'll be a great story, and we did actually see in that track work with Logan pretty keen there. Emily did actually catch up with trainer Cindy Elton too and just got her thoughts after the work.
Thank you for having us, first of all, Emily. And he's been great. He's flown over here like he's been here all his life, staying at Briley Park with Donna Logan, and they've been fabulous, and he's really enjoyed himself over here. And today was just about seeing him familiarise himself a little bit with the track, and he's done most of his racing left-handed, but he has been right-handed twice. So it was important for him to come here this morning, and I thought his work was super.
Tell me, what was Logan's feedback? Obviously, he's the regular jockey for Jigsaw, and he was aboard today. What was his feedback?
Yeah, he thought he felt great. Like I said, we weren't out there to run a lot of time, but just the last furlong, he asked him, he clicked him up, and he got him on the bridle, and he said he was right there for him when he wanted him, and he felt that he really enjoyed the surface today too.
What do you do from here in terms of getting to Saturday?
Not a lot now. We've kind of done our final piece of work today. We just managed to keep him in one piece and ticking over nicely. And, I think just head to Saturday with every box that we can ticked.
Oh, it's exciting. Exciting to have the Australian Raiders here. There's so many angles to this race, Aidan. So who's the one for you in the Group 1?
There are so many angles. Logan Bates looking for his first Group 1. Opie Boston looking for his 100th on Arkansas Kid as well. So there's that about it. I'm going to go against them both. I'm going to go with the Kiwi Stick, Loyal, and I'm going with Alabama Lass to go one better than last year. I think she's ready. I think this is a Kelso preparation where she's primed for business.
Oh, can I change to Jigsaw after seeing that bit of work? That was really, really impressed. What a cool horse. I want to speak a bit of Ellie for you on the program, so I'm going to go with Swaney's Day. I think the horse is really going to be peaking. I think it's got a good horse's record. Just a 5-year-old with the 5 from 8. Great trip, great record at Ellerslie, distance, getting a double-figure price around Swaney's Day.
Okay, but a value and the favourite in the Group 1 as we take you now to the Aotearoa Classic here and have a look at the market for the Elson Park as well, where Noble As is an open favourite at $5. She's a dealer at $5.50, Tuxedo at $7 and Hinikaha at $9. Just the way that this market sets up shows how open it is. How do you see them setting up in the race, Aidan?
It's an interesting one, and the problem there for Noble As, I think this is a really tricky barrier draw, so just how it does come about for Noble As, I think maybe just could be trapped wide. There's definite speed in here through the likes of Vegas Queen, Midnight Edition, Golden Wings, I'm sure they'll be pressing forward, and it gives lovely runs to those horses on the inside. Smart Love maybe 3-4 back the fence, inside out should be somewhere handy. Hinikaha potentially gets into a 1-1 from there, and even Checkmate, she's a dealer. There's no real tricks there. The tricks are a little bit further wide. A Super Photon's a tricky draw, dealt with obviously a tricky draw. Tuxedo's a little bit niggly, but I think they can go back and get in.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting, Speedmap, isn't it? The one thing I did write down on my book is that I think they'll run at decent tempo here when you've got Vegas Queen, you've got Midnight Edition, you've got Golden Wings who goes forward. I think Smart Love might be a bit more positive with the blinkers on a Saturday. Hinikaha will jump and run. So whatever I did with this map, I just thought they'll go quickly enough, and I agree with Aidan. There is a couple of awkward draws for a couple of favoured runners.
Yeah, there is. Well, you mentioned Smart Love. Of course, Wexford have her and Checkmate. Let's hear from the dynamic duo and see how they're going.
Yeah, look, the pair are going particularly well. They worked up sides this morning. Weren't asked to do a lot, but their sound, look, Checkmate always races well at Ellerslie, and I think Smart Love, she can be a forgive for a last outing. She was probably ridden ridden, no fault of the jockeys, but we're probably a little bit close in the run. Look, we've added a little bit to her gear. She's got blinkers and a tongue tie, and Andrew and I, we believe she's improved.
Yep. Happy with the training leading in, Scotty?
Yeah, both of them worked really well this morning. Chickmate looks like he's keeping on improving. His last one was much better, and we think he's taken it up another level. And any rain around in which there's a little bit forecasted on Saturday night is going to aid Smart Love, and we've seen an improvement with the hood and tongue tie. So, she could bounce back. So, we're pretty pleased with the pair of them. It's a pretty even, hot field, and horses that get good fortune in the run is certainly going to be competitive.
They really are. As we take you to the Group 2 Rich Hill Mile, we've got a handful that come out of this race. Of them, Bevan, who really stood out to you?
Probably She's a Dealer, Checkmate. For me personally, I thought Smart Love across the last couple of starts has been pretty disappointing, and it has been expensive for punters, but when the O'Sullivan and Scott team label one, they're never very far away from the mark. So look, She's a Dealer was good against Patton. Checkmate, very good getting home late. And of course, this is the Queen Zoo form one, which is very strong as well. And Tuxedo was okay, but She's a Dealer probably captured my eye. Checkmate out of that race.
Yeah, Checkmate was good on the clock too. The quickest last 8, 6 and 4, second quickest last 200. But it was a race that favoured the swoopers, and he was one. Look at Tuxedo after the line. That was really eye-catching work. Probably just didn't get all favours. Midnight Edition's the horse who comes into this best off at the weights. I think he comes in something like 3.5 kilograms better than both Checkmate and Tuxedo, and 1.5 kilograms better than She's a Dealer and Smart Love. But Smart Love's run against the pattern of that race, sticking on and fighting like she did, I thought was a tremendous trial. Has won 4 of 8, and there is just so much upside about her.
Yeah, there really is. One not to let go just yet. Obviously, Roger James and Rob Wellwood, they've got a two-pronged attack, and let's hear from Roger James how they're going.
Yeah, look, I thought She's a Dealer with a more patient ride could have won last start. Hit the front through circumstance, a bit early really, and was run down late, beaten a length. She's just flying, really happy with her. Dealt with, he had a lot of time off. Every run that he's had, he's improved, and he'll be a fitter horse. He'll peak for Saturday. They're both nice runners, and we're proud to have them there.
Yeah, they look like they're 2 leading chances in the race too. Is that the way you're approaching the race?
Oh, very much so. They're not just going there for the outing.
No, and as you said, Bevan, you're pretty keen on one of them, and they both are still up-and-coming horses too.
Well, look, it's hard to really judge. We dealt with is at, but he is going nicely. I agree with Roger. Probably got to the front too early last time, but was run down by a nice horse as well. Super photo. But She's a Dealer is probably the one of the two that I'd lean towards.
Yeah, Dealt with was terrific this night last year, running third in the Karaka Millions 3-year-old. Tricky barrier draw there. Yeah, of the two, I was with She's a Dealer as a chance, but this is a field of immense quality.
It's a good horse's race, and Dealt with's draw is very niggly. I'm not sure what they do from there.
Can't wait to see some Tuxedos in the grandstand come Saturday. Let's hear from Sean Ritchie how Tuxedo's going.
Yeah, great. I mean, like all of them, I suppose, this is his grand final. It's the one we want. So the blinkers go on, and I think that's the key ingredient with this weekend. We've been kind of waiting to put him on him, and he's been rolling around a little bit in his races. So if he straightens up with them, then he doesn't have a lot of ground to make up on his current form.
Yeah, his current form seems to be pretty strong too, doesn't it? How's he trained on since?
Great, since that freshen up, and of course he chased down first 5. He went on to win a Telegraph, so that looks strong. And last start he was just a little bit flat. He just rolled in a little bit. He rolls in a bit in his races. He did it at Ellerslie, and he did it he rolled out at Tirapa. So we need to fix that. And if the blinkers do that, and obviously with a jockey like Opie Bossum, who tends to find a length or two in most of his horses on this particular night, it is his night in it. So he's going to need to with all the international jockeys there. But the horse is in great order.
A great jockey aboard, and the blinkers go on. So let's see if that does work the oracle. As we take you now to Andrew Forsman, he's got a great chance in Hinikaha. Let's see how she's going.
Yeah, great. Hinikaha, obviously in very good form, had a little freshen up after winning the Kaulo Zuzu. Maybe in this company against a few of those, whether she's quite sharp enough at a mile would be my only concern, and also the Ellerslie factor. It's never a track she's really handled that well. We took the opportunity to give her a trial there last Sunday evening, and she went well, but it is a track that she has struggled to sort of corner up and get round and really show her best. She does need a decent track too, and hopefully we get that on the weekend for her. But no, happy with how she's going, but I think she might be better suited now with the benefit of this run up over a little bit further, but still expect her to be competitive. And Yaldi, we know that on his best day, he's very capable of being involved. He's a group winner on the course, and whether he can stretch to a mile, that would be the only concern.
Let's take a look at Hinikaha finishing third here in her trial at Ellerslie. And it's interesting thoughts there around Andrew saying she's not the best at Ellerslie.
Well, I'm a little bit put out because I've got Hinikaha on top of me. Get to the selections moment because I think she'll jump, she'll run. I think she'll stay better than a few of the runners here on an off track at a mile that's run at good tempo. But look, she's chasing home a couple of very, very good sprinters there. So I don't think there's any disregard of that particular trial.
Yeah.
She's a very good mare.
And it sounds like he's really made sure he's freshening her up to run another strong 1,600 metres. That's really strong form out of the Kalamazoo. So he's like beating Queen Zoo and what's the Lance Noble horse that's gone on to run second in a Aotearoa Classic since. So
not Jarpy.
Yeah, so there's really strong form around her, and she's a bona fide contender. She's won 5 of 9. Yes, there might be a few Ellerslie concerns, but that trial would have brought her on, and the stable's flying at the moment, so right there.
Okay, let's take a look now at the favourite, and it is from Australia, Noble As. Let's take you to this run here at Flemington, over the mile. How did you assess the performance?
Oh, very, very good. The only one niggle I have with this horse is where does it get to from that particular gate, because I think there's decent tempo here. I think there's a very strong chance that we could get caught 3 wide, albeit the rider should be good enough to find a slot somewhere. But I thought this was an outstanding effort. It's great to have the horse coming across to run in this race. Clearly, the Price and Kent Junior team know what they're doing. And look, if it can find a spot under Craig Williams from that gate with a bit of cut around in the ground being by Bellardo, clearly the market is right on the mark.
There's no luck in that race whatsoever, and if you're forgiving of it, the one thing it just didn't really pick up, so maybe it just needs to be exposed a bit earlier, and then you can keep up a sustained run. But the previous form was all top notch. 6 starts with 3 wins and 3 minors. It's interesting, isn't it? Because you know neither of Bevan and I are picking horses from the Kieran Maher or Mick Price and Michael Kent Jr. stable, which is it's a crazy situation really.
Back in the Kiwis, Aidan. So who's the one for you?
Again. I'm sticking with the Kiwis again. This time I'm going with She's a Dealer. There just seemed to be so much confidence coming out of the camp. The 2 runs leading into the Ritual Mile were terrific. I thought against the pattern of that race, it was a mighty effort. I think she's off nicely at the draws and weights, and yeah, she's going in the top for me.
As I mentioned, going with Hinikaha, just love her. She'll be the one that walks into the birdcage and you'll go, wow, there's a really good mare for Christopher Grace and the team. Mare by Severville, she'll keep developing and she'll go to the Broodmere Band in time and add extra value to the big paddock that Christopher has.
Yeah, nice big paddock there as we now have a look at the Cambridge Stud Al Manzour Trophy here for the 3-year-olds over the 1,200 metres. Val Cheval favourite at $4.50. King's English also from the stable at $6.50. Your second favourite, and then Drops of God at $6.50. Let's have a look at King's English here, winning at Ellerslie, again remained unbeaten, and this was some performance too because he got held up a touch, but once he was out, too good.
Yeah, he really was. 3-bet fence, so I love the sort of ring calf that this horse showed because he had to be very, very good. You're picking up a couple of other good chances. As Confessara in this particular race as well. She was very, very good coming with King's English. I like the way, once he saw the gap, he didn't hesitate. He burst through it. He's got the gear on to sort of aid that, but I think the first 3 home, there wasn't a lot between them, but 3-bet fence, race experience, and he let go.
Yeah, he was a 5 3/4 length winner going back 2 starts as well. He's obviously a horse who's really on the up. Sectional's pretty good there. I thought Confessara was very good. Lubeck's got some good form around others as well. So Lucy in the Sky was the other one there. But yeah, that's a good form race.
It is a really good form race. I need one to back though, Aidan, so who is it?
I'm going with the favourite. We saw from the trials how good Belle Cheval was. That was just a super trial. Last time we saw her, she's run 3rd to Well Written in Group 1 company. Sidewinkers come off with the visor blinkers going off and gets a lovely barrier draw to get a cosy run for Craig Williams. So just upside all round. I'm with Belle Cheval.
Yep, I think she might be another filly that is going to go right to the top as she has probably been in a first 3 starts. So I'm with Belle Cheval. The value in the race is Zorero for the Jamil Bloodstock stud team for the Larians on boss team at 30s. He's a better horse than that.
Now it's time to take a look at the first race of the evening, the Joe Giles Stakes here, and our favourite is the Group 1 winner in Provence, so 370 into 310, and then you've got Mary Shan at $5 from Romilly. Let's take you back to the Group 1 Mufasa Classic. Unbelievably, she's unbeaten in the Group 1s, and she's the deserved favourite.
Oh, she's just a horse who wants to win. She's so determined. When she gets there, she's only won by short margins in all these Group 1s, and here she comes into what is a set weights and penalties race, where even Mary Shan, as good as she is, she's getting 2 kilograms off her. If this is a handicap, it would be 7 kilograms. And then you look at what the others, they'd be getting, you know, that much more. So she's clearly beautifully placed, and it's just where this fits in. It's a $90,000 race. There's no black type attached to it. You know, she's a 3-time Group 1 winner. You know, what's the purpose kind of thing. So it's just how important this is to win.
I think this is the one you just climb into, don't you? First on the program, this will close because the boys get paid or get on course. They'll get their punters club going, and they will put a fair amount on this, I think. If it's not that, it might be TriStar for their Sullivan Scott team. But Aidan's made every relevant point around this horse. She is the way to start your day, Provence. Mile back to 14, I'm not really concerned about that. Ellerslie, no concerns. She's won Group 1s and...
Oh, you're right, but geez, Mary Shan's trial the other day was just superb. She's won 3 or 4 of preparation. She's going from strength to strength. Craig Grill sticks for Andrew Forsman. I just didn't think this was an open shut case, and it's a really messy map as well. I thought the clear leader in the race was Amazonia, who's right down the bottom, probably without a winning chance in this race. Yet it just could be a tricky race to start the program, and it's not one I want to climb into.
There's no tricks. There's no tricks. How many Group 1s is Mary Shan? A good horse. I'm not saying she's not a good horse, but that race was very strangely run, to say the least, and she took advantage of that. She's a good mare, but Provence, for me, is at a different level, especially with only 2 kilos between them.
Yeah, you're starting our night off good by the sounds of
I'll
it.
be
Bevan, she's on top for you.
Get any abuse.
Yeah, she's on top with me as well. I'm with Provence on top, but I just didn't think it was a climb. And obviously, Bevan, you're clearly with her on top.
Yeah, I am. And then I was sitting at home last night with one of the head producers, and he said Provence as well. So we'll go run with him as well.
Good punters.
Yeah.
Good punters. There
Yeah,
you go.
exactly right. I might even just take a nice little quinella there with Mary Shan. And that completes our look at Karaka Millions tonight. We're taking a break. Don't go far because we've got Taranaki and Riccarton to look forward to. Pleasure to have your company here on the Form, and it is time for our black bookers. So make sure you get the pen out to note these down. Bevan, you're up first.
I'll take you back to Trentham on Saturday, and she's wondering, the sister to Start Wondering. Now, she won a previous start at Taranaki, and you can watch her in the trail. JJ told Amber to come out at the top of the straight. That didn't work, and then it was just a catastrophe. You see her sitting behind them, being cuddled up. Amber's looking left, right, and there was just nowhere to go. Look, for me, I was thinking she goes somewhere on a normal Saturday or a midweek Thursday on the CD, and she'll be winning for fun. She's nominated for the Rumataka Classic, which is going to be a tough race. So whether she wins that race, I'm not sure, but she's certainly going well.
I'm going with Gillian, the horse who's in front at this point, settled in 4th position and running. And of the first 6 in running, she's the only horse who stays in the first 6 in the finish. So it's clearly a sweeper's race. I thought the effort was full of merit. She'd run 4th in a Dunstan Horsefeeds Stayers final leading into that. I think she's a stayer of some promise.
And I'm taking you to Last Wish at the River City here. I thought the way that she actually made up ground on a day that wasn't that easy to do so. She's hit the line really nicely. She's run some good sectionals too. I think she's still got a little bit to learn there for a Waikato stud, but a real follow for me. So Last Wish out of the January 19th meeting. And that completes our black bookers. There are summaries on the bottom of the screen here, so make sure you note them down. Hopefully we've found you 3 winners in the coming weeks. So from there, our meeting during the day before Karaka Million, first of them in the Central Districts, is from Taranaki. We look forward to the Taranaki Cup. And as you said, Bevan, we've already had a bit of a rain watch. So what happens on Saturday?
Well, they've had 114 mils, so clearly it will be rain affected, and there is more in the forecast, so I'm not really sure where it's going to get, and that might influence exactly which horses turn up with our events, do what you wish for, etc. in those fields.
Well, let's take a look at the feature, which is the Dennis Wheeler Earth Moving Taranaki Cup and EV. Up the top of the book here, Al Vencedor at 3.30, from Bridal Train at 4.20, What You Wish For 5.50, and the Odyssey is at $6.50. Of course, we're taking a look at Al Vencedor winning running in behind in the Group 1 Zabil Classic. What did you make of this? Was he just up for a little while and just didn't go on with it?
Maybe he just hasn't been at his best, but he got to his best about this time last year, and then he started really firing. Again, you look at this as a set weights and penalties, 112. You know, you look at a horse like Herbert, who won this race last year. There's 20-odd points out of it. There's like 12 kilograms between them normally, and here he is only carrying 3 kilograms more. So Jonathan Riddell for Stephen Marsh. We know the quality. He's our reigning horse of the year, and you just have to respect him. The query is, you know, how winners are going to be. Yeah, that's all.
I'd be surprised if he's down there, to be honest with you, with the way the weather is at New Plymouth, and I'd also be surprised, I think, if What You Wish For ended up turning up at Taranaki. So maybe shop outside those and find some form. If he turns up, he's the one to beat.
Okay, well then if he doesn't go there, what about this mare, Bridal Train? Let's take you to her last time out. This is quite a good performance too, her getting down the outside there. She's put them away nicely.
Well, she's always been spruiked as a very good mare, and she'll probably have the perfect draw by this time of the day. She's drawn out wide. New Plymouth is her home track. She'll sort of get to a very similar position. I think of all the horses, she's the one certain to start, so if you want to spec a bit of 350 or 380, whichever price she was at, I think she's the one you need to be on.
Yeah, she's 5 from 17. Obviously handles a wet track. She's not an absolute toff on heavy going, but she's got a bit of class about her, and I just love the way that she's progressing. I thought she was really hard to bowl here, and just with the little query around conditions and what it might mean for this race, I was with Bridal Train on top.
Yeah, when you could see there that she was getting through the ground beautifully, and if EV doesn't go there, she's at a good price.
Yeah, love her. She's on top for me as well. I think she is the winner. I think Ellen holds a very strong hand in the last 2 on the program. We're going to go head-to-head with Commotion. I think she's smart as well, but Hanky Alpha also a bit of quality. But Bridal Train, I think, will take out the Taranaki Cup.
Okay, so both of the team with Bridal Train. As we take a look now at the Oaks Prelude, and this has come up a really nice field here at listed level for the Grange Williams stud. Single red favourite on the quick backup at $3 from Oh My My at $5.50, and then Stella My Bella on that third line of betting at $6.50. Let's take you to single red. Obviously ran around at Tarapa on Friday last week over the 1400 metres on the quick backup here, Bevan.
Are you allowed to say no idea on the form? Because this race I've looked through a few times now and just don't really know. This is a good performance, but sat on speed and kicked strongly off that particular tempo. So does it stretch up over ground to the 1800 metres? Look, it was a good, strong effort, but clearly with the way the money went, they had this horse ready to rock and roll, and it has to back up on an off-track over 1800 metres. So I don't know. Yeah,
as long as it does that, it's got to be a big factor here. That was some sort of win. It was a really nice performance. But yeah, you probably stole my line. I got no idea here either. So it is a tricky race, but you know, there's a bit of talent in here, no doubt. And I guess we'll know a little bit more about, you know, who are those sort of smokies heading towards the New Zealand Oaks afterwards.
Yeah, and there's a few that are stepping up in distance as well, like Oh My My. So are you going local, Bevan? Are you going for one of the Northerners?
Well, we're going to discuss later whether it's the song Oh My My or it's a duck shooting sort of term with Robbie Patterson. I did speak to Robbie. He thought this was probably the best of his chances because I did like what Unbounded did at its most recent start. But single red. I'll go single red just on its last start performance. So I thought it was very, very good. But Celebrate now hit the line nicely. Autumn Glory was good. Clara Bow was actually pretty good as well. So not sure.
I threw the names up, couldn't find which one came down, and ended up with a favourite, so I'm with single red as well.
Okay, single red for both of the guys, and I'm picking with Robbie Patterson. It's probably more the Ducks, Bevan, as we get maybe a best of a rest from you. Who else are you liking?
Look, I rang Robbie because, again, this meeting, I think, from the weather that is around, they would have been really happy with their first up noms, but the weather's probably going to have quite a big part to play. So I've spoken to both Ellen and Robbie. Robbie thinks Freebell probably is his rock hard fit horse in the meeting is the one you can follow, and that's at 5 at 2, so I'll go with that.
really tricky meeting. I was struggling to find one. I've gone with a debutant in the second King of the Year, who was a trial winner leading in. So Stephen Marsh, Jonathan Riddell combined from a good gate. Hopefully that good gate's still a good gate early stages at New Plymouth. You know, I've been there. Used to live there. I know what the weather does in Taranaki.
Yeah, unfortunate with this pesky rain, summer in New Zealand. Right, let's get you to Riccarton now. That is the second meeting on Saturday. We look forward to the Timaru Stakes. Is there any better weather down south, Aidan?
Well, obviously good for at the moment, but yeah, I think the country is getting this wet weather. So let's hope it holds off and we've got a decent enough track to play on. Riccarton's been playing really well in recent weeks.
All right, fingers crossed. So let's get you to the Spates Timaru Stakes here for race number 8 on the program. Shoes at $4.50, pushing out to $4.60. Trobriand at $7 and Inflamed at $7.50 on the third line of betting. Let's have a look at Little Shoes winning on New Year's Day at Ellerslie. We know her racing style. She likes to get out and go to the front, and she was very good here.
Yeah, running second in behind Swensday, who's Bevan's top pick in a railway. So it's really good form. In behind, there's some really handy gallopers as well. I thought Shoes kicked on strongly and what was a good performance. But boy, this is a race of real depth, the Timaru Stakes. And, you know, there could be 8 horses here who you know, you can bona fide winning chances. But we know Shoes is a fast horse, will get somewhere near the speed. Was heading down there earlier on this week, and it looks to be a chance.
I know sometimes I went down south actually with Pip, and Shoes was running down there last season and was pretty disappointing, but it seems to have sort of found its mojo. So you'll know where you'll be in the run with Shoes and looking the winner at the 200 metre mark. I've just got a couple of question marks late.
Yes, she does. So that kind of sounds like you're playing against her, Bevan. Who are you with?
Texas Dolly. I really like this horse. And last start, there are excuses across her. I think the last start they jumped and ran with her, and she got stuck down in the worst of the track conditions. That is quite some time ago. I think she's better ridden back. She's going to come in with a lightweight into the race, and I think if they sit back and smoke their pipe, she can be hitting the line really strongly late.
Yeah, Shoes was 4th in this race last year. Texas Dolly was 2nd, but of the first 3 home, they came from 14th, 11th, 15th in running. So it was definitely a swoopers race where Shoes was on speed. If they can get away with a more suitable upfront speed, then I think Shoes is maybe the horse to beat. But boy, there are some horses in here who are bona fide chances at good prices. So it's a race you might want to just consider shopping around.
Okay, and it's a 10-race program as well. So what else are you liking on the card, Bevan?
I like to win in the first. I like to get it done and dusted early. Walshy has loose in Vegas in the first on the program. There's a bit of form around Naverne at the top of the book, but I really love what this horse did at its most recent start. It's sure to improve out of that, and I think you're getting a really nice each-way price in the first out of Riccarton.
I thought one of the bets of the weekend came up in race 2 in Professional Lad, a horse who was making up massive ground for 6th in a 2,000 guineas. That was some sort of performance. Has been to the trials since and trialled beautifully, and now drops back into a maiden over the 1,400 metres with the Terry Ray polish on. So Professional Lad in race 2. You are getting a short enough price, but boy, I'm happy to play.
I can feel the confidence from way over here as we get you to our bank builders. I need some help. The betting account's looking a little low. So what have you got for us, Bevan?
Look, I'm heading down to Riccarton. I think the Wilsons are great trainers, and again, I'm going to hope back to Wingatua. You saw Royal Valor down there last season, missed away, flashed home, ran unbelievable sectionals, and then just put it all together. Said the 3 runs in last start, it was making massive ground late. They step it up over ground on Saturday. Big track, Royal Valor. 420. Thank you very much.
I just needed to find something early, so I went Belle Cheval. I actually thought that Belle Cheval might have come up a little bit longer in that market, but the trial was terrific. It's Group 1 placed, and I thought it was a big chance in the Neil Mansell Trophy.
Okay, and that does complete our bank builders. Hopefully we found you some winners nice and early as we get you to another break. Don't go far. Best bets time very shortly. Let's get down to that. Welcome back into the form. Unfortunately, we don't have a best bet summary for you because we were down and out. I just feel like, guys, we're a little bit rusty. You know, we'd had a holiday. I think we just needed maybe a pick-me-up, bounce back this week.
Well, my last two bets, I think Atmospheric had a heart fibrillation, and unfortunately on Monday, La Bella Uno fractured a pelvis. So I don't know if the trainers want me to be on the horses. She's not life-threatening, La Bella Uno, and she'll be back at the races, but she'll have to have quite some time off.
Yes, I think she will. All right. Well, we didn't get the trainers' tips last week. We were really missing them, so let's find out what they're liking this time.
I got a 2-year-old filly going down to New Plymouth. I thought she was really good on a very heavy track at Aotearoa, and she'll take a lot of improvement out of that. In the Vineyard, she's probably a genuine winning chance at New Plymouth on Saturday.
I probably have to go Archaic Smile down at New Plymouth. I've got her in 2 races and we'll see sort of where she draws in each one, but yeah, she's flying. I can't fault her.
One in Aiden, that's gold, hence to New Plymouth, the rating 75, 1600. It's a lead up to the Waikato Guineas in a couple of weeks, and he'll be very hard to beat.
Look, I think it's probably going to be Hanky Alpha running down at New Plymouth. Look, she's been racing very well, and it's a race that should be right up her alley.
Big team of runners around the trap, so I'll actually go down south. Ellerslie makes her debut in the 2-year-old race down at Riccarton, so hopefully she can get us off to a nice start to the day.
We haven't got a lot in, but the power of 3, she loves Ellerslie. She's been working super. Took her out there for a gallop last Thursday, and really nice work. I'm not quite sure what the field's going to come up like, so a bit unsure on that front, but she's going really well.
She's a dealer.
Chilling out.
I'm going to have to go with Affirmative Action. I just think he's gone to a new level. He's got so much arrogance about him. He's jumping out of his skin, and he will need it, but I think he's my best.
Well, she's tipped them out a few times on the form has Pam, so Affirmative Action won't be getting the $50, but it's still
70s that day.
Yeah, maybe one to chuck at least in the same race multi, I think, with well written and some good other chances there, including one I've got my eye on, but we'll wait for that because it is time for our best bets brought to you by My Racehorse. And before we do get there, I forgot about this, but it's because I don't really want to talk about it. The leg up versus the form punching challenge. I let us down again last week, unfortunately, so it's 8-5. Aidan, over to you. You get an extra $20 too because I did get a scratching with Perfect Tycoon.
Thank you. I'll be needing that for sure, but well done to our colleagues at the leg up. So I'm trying to sort of let's throw the boat out here a little bit. I want to try and get something on the board, so I've gone She's a Dealer, 6 over the 240, so 20 over 30 on that horse. Bridal Train, just wondering, around whether 420s are a really nice price, which we'll get to keep for this competition. And there's my multi. $40 going She's a Dealer to win, into Bridal Train to win, into Professional Lad to win. I think that multi's around $1,700. So
you're not going to sleep for weeks. Putting bets like that up, like that's stretching the boat out.
I was going to say that. I'll be buying you a beer, Aidan, I think, at Karaka Millions if you
I could
get
probably
that
predict. We haven't got Paul Marty. He'll be Armas. He'll be Affirmative.
No, he won't. He'll just follow what I've backed.
No,
that's what happens when,
No, he loves
$20 shot in there somewhere, for sure.
I saw the dartboard in my studio the other day, so they had a few names up there.
Yeah, I bet it did. All right, come on, the form. We need this. But in the meantime, yes, it is our best bets brought to you by My Racehorse, so it's showtime. Aidan, what have you got for us this week?
I'm going to go to the shorts on Professional Lad at Riccarton, a horse who was terrific at Group 1 company last time out, drops back into maiden grade, and I really like this horse. I think is beautifully placed, so I'm going to take the shorts on Professional Lad.
I really thought the 100 was just going straight up Professional Lad. I really did, but well done. Let's hope we can get back in the mix. Lances with Hanky Alpha. That'll get Alan Sherrick gritting his teeth. I love this mare Commotion. She's top line. She'll be in a big race at some point in her career. She's at home. She'll get to the outside. I think she's really tough to beat. Pup?
Chocolate fish on the line here, I think, because I
same
am.
race multi on the line.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going with the Hanky Alpha. I just got to stick with. I obviously made her the best bet before the break. I still thought it was a really good run from her. Just the pattern of the race probably didn't suit. She's won on a wet track before. Lindsay Satherley, I think, will actually suit her. Come on, Hanky Alpha. But I'll go the same race multi. Yeah, we'll just keep it nice and simple, and hopefully we can get a bet.
Well, I'll do a length
home
next week if it does. If I don't win, I'll be missing in action.
He's gone to Randwick.
Yeah, Leith's actually missing, but he'll be back shortly. Miss Scandal, though, he has done some homework for us, getting us off to hopefully a winner in the first out of Randwick on Saturday, and the Whale, Spiritual Bliss for him at Alexandra Park on Friday, hopefully to give us some early treats to back into what is a massive Saturday. Cannot cannot wait. It really is just one of the best meetings.
Yeah, sure is, and we'll be there as part of the broadcast team. But it's just the fun of the fair at Karaka Millions night, and yeah, it's one of the meetings I just look forward to most.
Yeah, I'm finished by 4 o'clock, so I'll be in the boozer in New Plymouth watching all the action with Stephen Hunt, so looking forward to that. But yeah, watch from about 12 out of New Plymouth Raceway. They've got some nice races there as well.
Yeah, they do. Look, at least he's honest. All right, we're going to leave it there. We'll catch you back next week. Enjoy what is going to be a fantastic Saturday.
It starts with an instinct to run. The land nourishes. People with horses in their heart nurture. From awkward first steps to an assured, admired walk, into an iconic arena, foundations laid from a century of success. Then with a nod, a wink, a hammer falls. A future is decided in seconds. To a new home of education. Raw speed meets reason. Steps become strides.
To Ellerslie, the ultimate examination of their education, a test mastered by the benchmark.
Here come the Tangerine Army.
What an introduction to the big time, with a Hollywood cast to match.
A performance worthy of the name there, the Armas.
And that's just the babies. Well Written headlines the night for a trainer on the ascent.
Well Written, the jewel in the Guineas crown, what a filly she is.
In the railway, last year's sluggers return. Gunslinging Aussies, their biggest threat.
Jigsaw fights, and it's a local win of the meteorite.
They're not the only bounty hunters from Oz. Global superstar jockeys on a stage now cemented on the world calendar. It's a statement night, a bucket list bash, 6 elite races splashed with cash. It's a long way from those first awkward steps, but now they fly. This is their time.